Come on, mate. Come on, mate. Go on then. Up you get. Go on then, quick, quick, quick. Good boy. We're going to try again. Because yesterday, we tried to go to the manor, me and Hector, didn't we, Hector? I think it was about 3:30, 4 o'clock. And I didn't check my app or nothing to see if there's any traffic. And I went our normal way. I go out through Collingtree and thought I'd have a nice little drive and get on the A45 that way. Got onto the A45, seemed all right. Then I got, I don't know, 200 or 300 yards, maybe a bit more than that, maybe half a mile. And I saw all the brake lights. Thought, oh, here we go. And then we come to a standstill. So I thought, bit naughty, but I got on my phone and put the route into the manor. And it told me it's going to take an hour and 55 minutes. It's 20 minutes away at the most. That's in normal sort of traffic. So there'd been some sort of blooming big accident. I didn't know this. It happened earlier on in the afternoon. That's about 1 o'clock. And I think a lorry and a car had coming together, and they closed everything because they had to get the air ambulance in. So yeah, we spent an hour, didn't we, buddy? That's my old dog, Hector. We spent an hour, didn't we, just getting from, like, I think it's Domino's Pizza to the junction, which is, it's half a mile. So yeah, that's a waste of time, waste of petrol. So we're going to go and try again because I've got something quite interesting. This is why I'm doing this vlog, because I'm not going to tell you yet, but we're going to get something that's quite interesting. It's something that Stoat recommended to me or gave me the option of, but we'll get into that in a bit. So I need to fill up with fuel as well and all sorts. I'm supposed to be working. I got up early, so I did a bit of work first thing this morning, so I've done an hour and a half, 2 hours already. So let's go. Right, then I've picked up my stuff. I've got an extra package, so I'm not quite sure what that is. If it's what I think it might be, that's fabulous. That's something even more interesting. But anyway, what I've got to tell you first is I'm certainly not a chemist. I'm certainly not giving health advice. I'm not a herbalist. And you don't take my advice at face value. Do your own research. But do you remember when you was a child, or maybe a grown-up, probably still do it now, if you've got a bit of a cold or something like that? So I remember with Lee doing it a lot because she's into all the herbal stuff and all the aromatherapy stuff. And she would get a bowl of water and she'd put maybe some Vicks in there or some eucalyptus or whatever in hot water, boiling hot water. And you sit it on your lap with the towel over your head and you'd breathe in the vapour, wouldn't you? And that would help ease a cold. And obviously there's other herbs and stuff that do a very similar thing. So what if there was a way of doing that without the water, I'm not just talking about that. Let's be honest here, we're talking about herbs, all right? And we are talking about that herb as well that you might be thinking of. Well, I'll tell you the story. Yeah, better. Obviously, you know, I've had a few little issues. Nothing, honest to God, nothing that bad. But I've had trouble sleeping and all that stuff. And someone gave me something a happy one. Okay, a happy doodle. And I actually took it apart because I knew the bugger would have put too much stuff in it. Because I don't like getting stoned or anything like that, or high or drunk. I don't like getting drunk, to be honest with you. You might think otherwise, but I don't like that feeling. But so I took it apart and put it over a few joints because it sounds like I'm some sort of nutter, but that's not what I meant. So, and I'm not joking, right? Within a couple of puffs, the issues that I had, the pain that I had, wasn't massive pain. Like I say, don't get me wrong, just went, and I slept all night. And I took 3, I think, the following nights, every night, slept perfectly. But because I'm an ex-smoker, I am worried that I would get hooked back on tobacco, because to take that, you put it in with tobacco, don't you? And of course, I do believe that thing, once a smoker, always a smoker. So I reached out on MeWe to Stoat, because I know Stoat knows about some of these things. And I said, look, what would happen if you could have the benefits without the harmful stuff and the stuff that you could get addicted to? And he just sent me a picture back. I'm not going to tell you exactly what it is now. It's something to have a look at. Now, I then started investigating, because there's normal legal herbs that give you a lot of the same properties. So healing, aches and pains, euphoric, not the same as that stuff. But did you know hops, if you can get the vapor out of some hops, that will do quite, apparently, I mean, I don't know, right, but they're saying it does quite good things. Now, what I'm not talking about, I sort of give you a clue there, haven't I? That is, well, no, I'm not going to go there, because I just said about the vapor that comes up with Vicks. Once I get it opened and have a little look, we'll get back to the boat. Well, I'll go and get some fuel first, go back to the boat, and then we'll open it together and I'll explain it a little bit more. But I just think it's something really interesting, and it could be an alternative. As I say, don't take my advice on face value. Always do your own research. So this is, because it might be shit, right? But we'll soon find out. But yeah, we'll go through it together later and see if it actually does anything. So, back to the boat, and I'll see you in a bit. Well, we're back, everybody. So let's start unpacking. This seems a very big box of what I think is probably inside this one. This is the thing with Amazon, isn't it? They only have certain pack sizes, I guess. But this one seems a bit over the top. Yeah, because look, there's nothing in it. Well, there is something in it. There's two things in it. All right, I'll show you what I've got. You see that? That's a bag of hops. Yep, you heard me right. A bag of hops. Hop flowers, indeed. And this here, let's open it up. Well, shall I? No, this is chamomile. I'm not going to open it up because it's, well, yeah, of course I'm going to open it up. Whatever's up there. It just looks like it's just in a silver bag. Let's just have a little looky. Oh yeah, that's chamomile. There you go. Oh, that smells good. Oh, didn't know I like the smell of chamomile. So there you go. So there's the two herbs that I've bought. So it's not the herbs you thought I was going to buy, is it? Hey, everybody. That'll teach you for assuming. Oops, daisy. Now the next one. This is the machine, I believe, that is going to do the vaporization. Let's have a little looky. Oh, I've got a couple of other little bits in here as well. That's better because that's from my normal vape, okay? Okay, that's a grinder. And here is the thing we're talking about. Now, there's something we've got to make clear here. Make a differentiation. Many people are going to think, well, that's just a vape. No, it's not. That's a vape, and the way a vape works is there's oil carriers. So obviously you have either petroglycerin or vegetable glycerin. I tend to use mainly vegetable glycerin, and basically this. Again, I'm just going to be honest. It's like a dummy for me. It's because I used to be a smoker. Very rarely is there any nicotine in this. Not that nicotine's bad. It's all the carcinogens, and this is my worry also. If you're doing the other thing, that you don't want to be putting all those carcinogens, because it's all the tar and everything from the tobacco that's really the bad thing, not the nicotine. The actual plant itself is all natural, obviously. Now what this does is there's a chamber inside. I mean, we'll go through it later because I have to charge it and everything, but there's a chamber inside which you put your herbs. So either my hops, so I'd grind some hops, stick them in this thing, and it's like a cooker. And what it does is I think it's by convection, this one. So it puts hot air through the hops, let's say, for instance, and it gets them up to a certain temperature, around 300 degrees, okay, Fahrenheit, and then that allows it to vaporize. Now, not combust, so there's no combustion involved. It's just the vapor, almost as I said earlier, when you're putting your head down over some Vicks vapor rub or whatever. It works on the same principle. But because I started investigating it after what I was talking to with my old mate Stoke, I then discovered that all the other herbs that you can have, and there's lots and lots and lots, and lots of them have got different benefits. That's something I think's worth having a look at anyway. So, because aren't you all sick of medication? Because I am. It's like, you know, I was going through that empty-doody-deen. There's no way of taking it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get this on charge. It'll take an hour or two to charge, then I'm going to do some work. Then I'll get back to you a little bit later on, and we'll have a go. Whoops-a-daisy. Right, I've put it on charge. But before I get down and settle to work, I just wanted to see if this other parcel is an early surprise, because it wasn't supposed to be coming. If it's what think it might be. It wouldn't be coming until the 26th. So that's quite a while away. Oh, blimey, it's well packed. It is. Oh, I'm so excited. It's all too much. This isn't what you think it is. Well, it is, but it's going to be something else. But we might do that in another vlog. I don't know. Anyway, better go and do some work. Well, then again, before we start this bit, I want to reiterate and absolutely reinforce that I'm no medical expert. I'm not offering medical advice or anything like that. I'm just trying this out for myself and going by what I've found on the internet and through a few other people. So it is fully charged, and I'm going to kind of try and explain how this works now. Obviously we've got the mouthpiece at the top, but when you look in there, hopefully you can see that. That's the heating chamber. So what you do is you'd put your herbs in there after you've crushed them, if that's what's required of that particular herb. And then it's convection that heats this. It's not direct heat, it's convection. So it's hot air basically going through it. And it, as I said, it doesn't combust it. It just turns it into a vapor. So what should happen, if it's done it correctly, it should just have a nice, when you've finished, it should just have a nice toasty look to it, and it might smell a bit of popcorn. Thing is, these take a lot more maintenance. You have to clean them and everything, obviously. And this here, obviously the mouthpiece, but there in the end, I don't know whether you can see that. That's honeycomb brick thing that helps to cool it, because obviously it could be a bit hot. So that's that. So on the herbal front, say before I do this, what I'm going to, actually I'll just tell you what I'm going to try first is tobacco. The reason I'm doing that is because I know what tobacco is supposed to taste like, and that I don't have to mess around with it. I just want to see if this works and produces vapor, because I'm not 100% sure I've bought the right type of hops or the right type of chamomile, because they're dried. It's called a dry herb vaporizer, so you think you buy dried herbs, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. So, and also I don't want to be going to sleep if I have a bit of chamomile, because I've still got to go to work. I've still got to carry on working. So yeah, I thought I'd do it with tobacco first. I might do it with a little bit of hops later on this afternoon, try and get this video out by 6. Let's see what happens. So yeah, but going to the herb thing. So again, this is information I've got from the internet. Check it all out yourselves. But talking about different herbs, not the herb, because we know what that does, don't we? But for instance, sage. It's a minty taste, and it's good for relieving colds and sore throats. This is just a few of them that I'm going through here. Chamomile, which we've just bought. And this is really more for Lee, because she has trouble, you know, sleeping and all that sort of stuff with the lady thing going on. So chamomile, it helps you relax, it helps you sleep, and it's good for your immune system, by all accounts. Then, of course, we get onto the mighty hops. And earthy, sweet, spicy kind of flavour. Gives you mild euphoria, and it's a sedative. It's pretty much like beer, isn't it? So, and I have opened that, and it smells like, you know, it's a little bit like beer, to be honest. Green tea, we all know green tea is a good thing. Again, you can put that in here. It's a mild stimulant, gives you a little bit of a buzz. It's an anti-irritant. It soothes you. It's anti-ache, and it prevents depression. As I say, I'm not a doctor, but this is what the information I've got. And peppermint, yeah, nice and minty, good for muscle spasms, and it's an antiseptic. So any herbalist out there probably knows what I'm talking about. So I think we should just give this a go, should we? I've got 2 cameras on, so you can kind of see what I'm doing. But basically, I just got to put the tobacco in here, in there with that camera, tamp it down a little bit, and then that's it. Not to overpack it or anything like that. So I'm just going to try a little bit, see what happens. So I put that in. I'm not sure whether you can see this. Hopefully you can. Just tamp it down a bit. They say not to pack it, but just make sure it's in there. So of course, you don't use a lot of tobacco doing this either. So I would guess, if I'm right with this, that because it's going to give you the same hit, so to speak, of tobacco, this might be a good way for people to start coming off of smoking, if they still like the taste of tobacco, if you know what I mean. Because I'm not being funny, the vapes, like the traditional vapes, don't taste anything like it. Actually taste disgusting, the tobacco ones. A couple I've had that are kind of alright, but I think that'll do. I don't want to put loads in, so that's that. And stick that on there. Hopefully that's right. I'm learning this, so apparently there's different temperatures you do all these, and I've got a reference chart, because some have to be quite a low temperature, some are quite high. Now with tobacco, it's stated that it shouldn't be anything above 390 degrees Fahrenheit, so I'm going to probably start it somewhere around 320 or something like that, and just see what happens. So it's 5 ons, 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, that's coming on. Not very bright. Right, then temperature. This really isn't very bright. Actually, it's got a sticker on it, so I can't really see it. Let's get that off. Oh dear. Sorry about this. I'll look it out here. That's one bad thing with it already. So temperature. Oh no, 1, 2, 3, 4. Get it down to, let's have a look. I'm sorry I'm turning you back on you now. We're going to go for 350. So that's now set on 350 Fahrenheit on that thing there. I'll get that off properly later. So and then I think you press it 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And now it's going into heating mode. So it should heat the thing inside there until it gets to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. So that isn't taking long. So that's basically heating the chamber. You can set how long you want your session for. So I've got it set for 5 minutes. So power buttons, I guess that's the one I press. Is it? Well, don't seem to be doing a lot. I can taste it, but that's probably not a high enough temperature then. So I'm going to up the temperature. Let's go up to 380 then. See what happens. Although there's no vapour coming out, I can taste it. Well, I don't know. Seems a bit shit to me. But we'll see. I'll give it another go. I'll give it a little play. Then once I've learned how to use it properly, I'll get back to you. I think I've kind of worked it out now. I was trying to do it like I do my normal vape, and that's not how you do it. You've got to do it like you actually smoke, which is weird. So you have to, well, you have to do it slowly. And you do get a little bit of smoke. It tastes, it's funny enough, it tastes more like tea to me. It's not displeasant, it's warm. I'm not sure whether this will satisfy a smoker because it hasn't got the same throat hit. But I'll be interested to see what the old hops do. So now I know how to use it, or I think I do. We'll have a proper go later. Of course, what I was doing was I was pressing the power button and that was turning it off. That's why it weren't working as well. You don't have to. You have it on a session time for 5 minutes and it just goes for 5 minutes and it turns off. Or 3 minutes, whatever you want. Strange, isn't it? Because it still feels naughty. But no. I'll say a different taste. Not displeasant at all. I'm not quite sure. So I've reached 57 years of age and I've never used one of these before. So I'm going to have a go at it. This is to grind up the hops. So there's the hops. Goodness knows how this is going to work out. I've got 2 cameras going, so hopefully one will pick something up. God. It does smell a bit like beer. But it's like quite big leaves, aren't they? I don't know how this is going to work out. I guess we'll just bung a few in and see what happens in it. Maybe we have to break it up a little bit first, I reckon. Probably not going to need anywhere near as much as I just got out. God, I feel like a proper herbalist. You've got to make sure you don't cover the magnet, apparently. This might be harder to grind than I thought. Don't know, that's going through. Well, who knows, eh? It's a funny smell. One last little go. Maybe I'll stick a few more in. I have the blooming magnet again. I forgot. Oops, a daisy. I've dropped some on the floor. Hector will probably eat that and get drunk. Well, this is messy, mind, I have to say. If you can be arsed with it, who knows, eh? Who knows? I do feel very naughty doing this, and I shouldn't, should I? Because there's nothing illegal about it. It's just a bit weird. I'd say the hops are quite hard to grind. This might not work at all. Anyway, we'll go into the next. What's in that chamber? I don't even know how we're supposed to do this. Take that one off now, don't we? Oh, blimey. Look at all that. Can you see all that there? Don't know whether you can see it on that camera. That's shitloads. Blimey, that'll go a long way if this works. I bet it don't work, but let's put this back in. Oh God, it's everywhere. Oh dear. It smells really quite weird. It's not a horrible smell at all. It's just a bit bizarre. Right, I'm going to put my glasses on to get this on, just so I make sure I'm not getting it everywhere, because it does look a bit of a mess, doesn't it? It's very light. I'll tamp it down. So obviously this is very fine. This thing is bloody easy with my finger, yeah. Easy with my little finger, everybody. That'll be enough. We only want to see what happens, don't we? That's all we want to do. God, I'm going to get little bags. It's going to look like I've got naughty stuff in it. Because it looks a bit like naughty. Well, no, it don't really. Well, I guess that's going to be enough for about 20 flimming vapes, I reckon. Mind you, it might just go shh and be gone. Anyway. Right, I've just got to go and get me notes because I've written down the temperature. Bear with me a sec. Yeah, all these things have different herbs. You vaporise them at different temperatures. So hops is 392 degrees F. So turn this on. Get this down to 392. It's very difficult to read, this is, I have to say. Really poor screen. That's 392. Then press this. Was it 3 times? 1, 2, 3. Right, now it starts to preheat it. And whether there'll be any actual visible vapour from this, I have no clue. This will vibrate again when it's ready. So all it's doing is heating up the chamber inside. Oh, is it 392 now? Oh, is that the temperature? Oh, there it goes. There's a tiny, tiny bit of vapour. Not sure about that. Tastes alright. Again, it tastes a bit like tea. Not that impressed, to be fair. They do say it takes a while to get used to these things, because there's a certain way you're supposed to suck it. That's all right. I probably should have packed a little bit more into it, because I think there's too much air going through it. But anyway, who knows? Is it doing anything? I think so. Paul is the herb dealer. Oh, it's starting to catch a bit now. I think it needs to be hotter than that, to be honest with you. I think it needs to be hotter than that for this particular dry vape. So I'm going to up the temperature to 400 odd. Back to where I had it for tobacco. Yeah, there's a little bit more then. I don't know. Don't know whether I've found a solution or not. We'll give it time. It's quite clever, isn't it? If it works. Bye. Well, that was a bit of an unexpected one, wasn't it? Strange vlog. There you go. Call it a bonus. Obviously, if you've liked it and all that, make sure you do press the thumbs up and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, we might see you at the same time tomorrow. Who could possibly know? Bye.